Disclaimer: the views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host or guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Welcome and broadcasting beyond borders, the message of the truest tribe of coaching entrepreneurs and independent service providers from the Philippines. This is Coach Tin de Joya for hashtag Project Real Talk. Now on season 2 here at Think Talk Broadcast, the flagship community project of Coaching Think Talk, the community project of coaching TikTok speakers from Life Coach Philippines and members of Coach A coaching community. I'll be back shortly with my guest LY Marlow, and she's from Panama, Central America. And I'm back, and welcome to the live streaming of hashtag Project Real Talk, airing every Tuesday at 8 p.m. In this show, I want to help women by restoring fidelity in their relationships and reclaim their identity after betrayal and brokenness so they can live and love again. Broadcasting beyond borders of the Green City, Pasig City on the 2nd of August 2022, I am life coach Tin de Joya, a mom, a wife, and a woman who has reclaimed her life to help other women be the best that they can be regardless of the role that they play. I am also a public speaker, a mental model collector, a master builder apprentice of Master Coach A, and I am a relationship coach. Our mission here at Think Talk Broadcast is to get closer to our kindred and serve better our coaching tribe. We envision being the go-to network for content that connects the mind, heart, and soul through the platform of life coaching. And by serving in this digital space, the change I want to see is more women empowered as a mom and wife to nurture better family relationships, to create real men and women according to God's design. My guest for tonight is an award-winning author, most sought after woman influencer, and the founder of Saving Promise, a movement inspired by 5 generations of domestic violence in her family. Knowing our worth, our value, standing up for what we believe in, will allow us to be courageous to say no to violence. So let's welcome Ms. L.Y. Marlow.
Well, hello. Thank you so much, Coach Tim, for having me today. I'm excited to be here. There's something that you said in your intro when you spoke about your own journey and the journey of women, wives and mothers and sisters and aunts and nieces and cousins. Women, this is a time for women. And although we're going to be talking about one area that horrifically impact women, domestic violence, what I want to stand out in the front of our conversation is empowering women. Women are strong, women are courageous, women are brave. And so that is just one issue that impact us. But that we're going to talk today, not just about that issue, but also about how women can come out of something like that and stand in their ground of their passion, their purpose, their power, who they are, what they dream of, what they want for their lives, and know that they can do whatever they put their minds to. I'm excited to have that conversation.
Yes, I'm excited as well because as they say, as they say, when women fell in love or when you love, it seems like I just talked about it earlier in our we have this 5 minute talk club where we do our messages every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So what I talk about is the life hacks on mastering love, and one of the points there was love messes up our head because most often the brain is altered into thinking when we are in love. And of course, when it happens, at times, because of that, we choose the wrong man. Where, even if at the first or on the onset, we think that they are the right one for us. So, what usually happens, or why do we really attract men who ends up violent? Um, it's something that really, well, I've been a fan of crime movies or crime series, so most often there are some, there like the law series, I think the law and victim special unit. So I love watching that, and there are instances that women really fall or fell for the wrong man. So but before that, of course, I am excited. Can you tell our audience who really is L.Y. Marlow before you became the woman you are now?
You know what? Here's who L.Y. Marlow is. Here's who I am. And I can stand in my description of who I am now, strong and courageous and brave, because I was once one of those women who fell in love, who loved the idea of love. And it would put me through a horrific experience. I fell in love at the age of 17 years old, even had a child by this person at that age. And I loved him more than I even loved myself. And I would go on to be in an abusive relationship that would impact not only me, but my unborn child. And I would later go on to write a book about my entire family story of 4 generations of mothers and daughters, my grandmother, my mother, myself, and my daughter that suffered and survived over 75 years of domestic violence. And it would be my daughter's little girl named Promise that became the 5th generation when she was 6 months old, and she lay on the bed next to my daughter as my daughter was strangled and nearly killed for the 2nd time by Promise's father. And she would tell the story of how, as she was blacking out from being strangled, she heard Promise screaming on the bed next to her, and she would fight to save Promise's life. And had Promise not screamed, my daughter would have likely not been here today. And had Promise not screamed, I likely would not have had the courage to step out of a 20+ year corporate career. I was an executive in corporate America, and walk away from that career in order to launch a national organization called Saving Promise. And let me tell you what Saving Promise is. Saving Promise is founded in a legacy of 5 generations of mothers and daughters, my grandmother, my mother, myself, my daughter, and now Promise. And this was in 2007. Now she's 15 years old. Is founded in the legacy of the challenges and the horrific stories of my grandmother, who my grandfather used to beat terribly, even forcing her to watch him and their other children watch their 3-year-old son eat a dead rat. My mother would later marry my father, who beat her so badly once that he burst both her lungs, and she would have a operation from the top of her chest down to her navel, and now told to kiss her 5 babies goodbye because my father had beaten her so badly she almost died. And then here I was, 16 years old and 17-year-olds, my first boyfriend, who held a gun to my head and beat me terribly, even kicking me in my 8th-month pregnant belly. And I would not even know if my daughter was alive until I gave birth to her. And then now here she was born into this legacy, and by age 22, laying on that bed with Promise, screaming and fighting to save her and Promise's life. That is the story and the legacy behind Saving Promise. But the reality behind it is that there are many, many, many millions of women around the world that is living that same legacy. They may not have the physical, horrific physical abuse of domestic violence. In fact, many of them are abused more emotionally and verbally. And we all go into it with a sense of what you talk about, Coach Tin, love. We fall in love. And love is good. You know, I'm a spiritual woman. God created Adam and Eve. We were created in the spirit of love. And we should not give up on that. But we should learn, you know, why is it that we either attract or accept that love that is abusive? Why is it that we fall in love and we give ourselves and everything to this relationship, even our own sense of self and power? And why is it that even when we know it's not right, it doesn't feel good to us, we stay in it? And here's why. Here's why. Beyond the love part, we stay in it because of so many other reasons. Out of fear of losing that person, fear of being alone, fear of losing our children, fear of breaking up our families, fear of being financially independent, because many of us depend financially on our partners, or we jointly share the finances and cannot make it on our own. So some people might look at us as women and judge, but they don't see that we're not just staying in it because we just want to stay. There's so many, it's so complicated. And we give up on love. And I'm here to say, don't give up on love. We want to talk today about what are some of the signs that women can look for? What are some of the things that you can do to protect yourself? And what are some of the options you have to get out of a situation like that?
Agree. Oftentimes it's really hard, no, because it's more of actually the implication, the social implications when you say or leave the relationship, even if you're abused. But what should really be our focus in helping women who are caught up in this situation?
The first focus I would tell women, and if I'm talking to you today, and you're not sure if you are, maybe you've never been physically abused, and you're not sure if you're emotionally abused. He might have made you feel bad and made you feel less about yourself. You might even be verbally abused. Maybe that person said some things to you that wasn't right. You might be mentally abused, and mental abuse can be, making you, something called gaslighting, where they make you feel like it's your fault. I wouldn't do this if you would just do what you're supposed to do. Or maybe you might be verbally abused. Whatever it is, know this first. You always deserve better. You always deserve better. And if someone doesn't respect and appreciate you and honor you in every way, and honor who you are, and honor what you bring to the relationship, I honor that you're the mother of his children, or the person who's been with him, from start to finish, or you're the person who believed in him and still believe in him. But here's the saying: when you get on the airplane and on a flight, and the first thing that the flight attendant does when they're giving us the precautions around
And the
what to
oxygen.
do with safety, is they say any event of a challenging situation and maybe even a crash, and the oxygen mask falls from that pit of the plane, put it on yourself before you put it on your loved one. Breathe the oxygen mask for you before you even put it on your child. The same holds true in any relationship, in any family circumstances, in your work. You got to breathe first. You got to make sure you're okay before you can save that other person, or before you can save that relationship, or before you can feel good about this situation. So if you don't feel like that oxygen you're breathing is air and is fresh and it invigorates you and it gives you energy and it makes you feel good about yourself, then you got to not try to save that other person or that relationship. You got to know that you deserve better. And I know that's easier said than done, because all those other issues I talked about is not that set, cut, and dry. Maybe you can't leave the relationship because you got children. Maybe you can't leave the relationship because you don't know where you're going to go. You don't have nowhere to turn to. You can't afford to be on your own. But there's always a way. There's always a way. Find a way. Because if you don't, you're going to stay stuck in the situation and it's not going to get better. At least not until that person get the help that they so desperately need.
Agree with that. Oftentimes, what usually happens is when we fall in love, of course, we started out with romance and everything, and we think it's the ideal one. But as we go on with the relationship, that's where the true nature of our partners, of us as well, that comes out. And as we go on in the relationship, a lot of things can happen. There can be a lot of factors that could affect the interactions or the dynamics of the relationship that might cause the the breaking point of the man to start it. But I would always say it's a no for me. Well, I was not a woman who was abused physically, but I experienced it with my mom and dad. Although it's the opposite, it was my mom who's trying to hurt physically. But one incident that really stuck me was when my dad tied her to a chair. So I was only 5 years old then, so I cannot forget that. So I said to myself, when I get married, no man can really hurt me, and I stood up for that. Even if as simple as saying something like a joke in front, but it makes me feel humiliated. I immediately call out the attention when we are the only one together, because it starts from there. That simple things that we allow or we tolerate, the abuse can start from there. And as we've been going through life coaching, that's actually what we are working on with my husband, to really start helping the men out there as well to be the man who they should be. Because no one really started as violent as they are right now. There are a lot of factors, and when a woman encounters one, it's gonna be hard for a woman to just break off the relationship. As Ly said, you have to there are a lot of things that goes on in a woman's head that you really consider, like of course your finances, losing him. That's one that at times you just sacrifice yourself and your children because you just wanted to be with the man. But when can you say that enough is enough? I want to know what are really the signs that starts this off, so that our audience, especially the women out there, can be guided. But before you answer that, I just want to say hi to all our kindred coaches joining us. Of course, we have here Coach Marife from Tacloban, all the way from Tacloban. That's the southern part of the country. And we also have Master Coach Jasmine. Thank you so much for joining us. Coach Lean. We also have Coach Nords from up north. And we have Coach Maureen joining us as well. And Coach Glacy and all the other coaches and the VIPs that they have been tagging. I also have here my better half, Coach Sean, and we have Coach C as well. So there, what usually happens, or what are the telltale signs that we should look out for in a relationship?
Thank you for asking that. And before I talk about what are some of the signs that you should watch out for, I want to address something, Coach Tin, that you just talked about, because you made a very good point, and I want to reinforce what you said. You said at 5 years old, you watched your father tie your mother to a chair. And a lot of the abuse didn't stem from your father, it was actually your mother that was the abusive one. So I want to make very clear, even though we're using the terminology of he, because in most cases, there's more men abusing women than there are women abusing men. Though here, at least here in the States, there is evidence that there are many women in around the world that are just as abusive as men. There's also same-sex partners. Same-sex partners. It might be a woman and a relationship, or a man and a man in a relationship. My point is, gender doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. That anyone, whether you are a woman or a man that is being abused, or you are abuser, you deserve better too. Because many of us grow up seeing that. Coach Tin, you grew up seeing that, and you remind me of my brother, who, we grew up seeing my father horrifically abuse my mother, and my mother and her 8 siblings grew up watching their father abuse their mother. And usually what happens is you either come out of it like Coach Tin and my brother, where you say, I never want to live like that. I never want to be in a relationship like that. And I never want to hurt someone or have someone hurt me. You come out of it and you put your guards up, and you hold to those guards to make sure that you stay in your realm of your sense of self, saying, I never want to be that person. Or you come out the other side, where it's a learned behavior. Many people that hurt people saw other people get hurt. Meaning a little boy or girl grew up watching this, and they learned it. And remember, we are the ones that are marrying and reflecting and modeling what healthy looks like to our children. So our children are going to learn that. They're going to pick up on that. And so if they pick up on that, and if you pick up on it, or you are in that situation, what are some of the signs? Because you're right. When we get into a relationship, we have the butterflies. It feels so great, and he is perfect and she is beautiful, and we say all the right things. I say, in fact, we send the representative. The representative is the person that's on their best behavior, that's saying all the right things, that's doing all the right things, that's sending you the roses and telling you how beautiful you are, and showing up on time, and cooking you dinner, and listening to you, and becoming your best friend. And then things starts to shift slowly. First the roses stop, and I don't just mean the flower roses. I'm talking about the roses in terms of how beautiful this feels too. Things starts to shift. Every now and again, you might see something in the pit of your stomach that makes you go, We always have this moment. But we're so in it. We're so in love, and it feels good that we tend to ignore that. We block it out, or we make excuses. Oh, you know what? He said, did I hear him tell me he didn't want me to go out with my friends? Oh, he just want to spend more time with me. Oh, did I hear him, question or ask me where I was going and what time I was going to be home? Oh, he just want to call me tonight on time. Oh, did he just raise his voice at me? Or did she just call me a name? But she apologized. So it's okay. We start to talk ourselves out of it. And there's a poet here in the States, the late and great Maya Angelou. You might have heard of her around the world. Maya Angelou. She said, When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. In other words, when you have that moment, or you have that, well, maybe, or he just want me to be home in time for his call, or, well, he just want to spend more time with me, so I'm going to not hang out with my family or my friends. Believe him. He or she is telling you who they are. So that's sign number one. Sign number one, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Now, am I saying that the minute that someone says something out of, context, or the minute that someone asks you, what time you going to be home, I'm not saying that's a bad person. They may generally want to make sure you get home safe. But if you see a repeat behavior and you see you're starting to feel controlled, that's the second sign. Is he trying to, or she trying to control my time, or who I spend my time with, or how I spend my time? Or you see you joking and they say a word you didn't like, or they say something about you didn't like. Maybe it was a joke and it was, I'm not saying, oh, this is a bad person, because he might have said something that shouldn't have been said. But now you're starting to see that he's saying this a lot to you, or she's calling you this name. Maybe with women, we tend to, it's called, emasculate a man, meaning we start to make them feel like less than a man. And we might say, you know what, you just need to grow up. And then every time he tries to talk to you, oh, you just need to grow up. That's disrespect. That's dishonoring who you are. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to those signs. Some of the signs are, do they control your time? Are they verbally saying things and abuse doesn't just come in the B word. He don't have to call you a bitch for you to feel like, oh my goodness, he just said a negative thing, right? It could just be calling you something else, or verbally the way he speaks to you, or the way she talks to you, raising her voice. If they make you feel humiliated, they can humiliate you. If there's jealousy, that's abuse too. If there's jealousy that where it turns into verbal or physical abuse, they grab you by your arm and say, come here, you here. That's abuse. So these are signs. I'm not telling you anything that you will not recognize. There's financial abuse. People don't know there's financial abuse. If you're in a marriage or a relationship and you have a joint account and that person withholds the funds from you, or they use the kids against you. Mommy's not a good mommy. Oh, daddy, he's a jerk. You're teaching that child how to behave, you're modeling relationships, unhealthy relationships to that child. So these are just some of the signs that I think that what I would say is I end on that part is when you have that, your instinct always tell you, it will always tell you that something doesn't feel right. When you know it doesn't feel right, that is when it's time for you to do a gut check and say, is this the person for me? Should I stay in this relationship?
Yes. Elboy was correct in that. No, it's not gonna start as in an instant. It grows overnight. So there are really signs that you have to watch out for. And as LY said, there are really patterns. So actually it will start with the doubt that you feel when you are in the relation, or something has been said, has been done. And of course that person will really show the true self when when you are in the relationship, and there's a sudden change. There would always be that insight, even if, let's say, it's not an abuse, because I know it. I've been through a betrayal, so I know the sudden switch that that will make you think there is something. So when you have that doubt, you really have to believe your instinct. It's not there just for show, but really it's something that you have to watch out for. There might be other reasons as well that is not mentioned by LY, but trust yourself that
I
if
love that.
something is
Trust
amiss.
yourself. Trust
Yes,
yourself. I think that wraps that. Trust yourself. Trust
true.
yourself. That means your instinct, your body, your mind. We're
Mm-hmm.
brilliant and smart and savvy people, right? God put us on this earth for a reason. We all have a gift, and we all have the gift of gut. If your
True.
gut is telling you it's not right, it's not right. I don't care how beautiful they are. I don't care how charming he is. I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
handsome he is or she is or how beautiful, whatever. You deserve better.
Agree. Your brain might trick you, your emotions might trick you, but the instinct it will always be there. Your brain will be telling you something. So we're gonna be pausing for a break, but before we take a break, I'm just gonna leave this question to LY. I know that you have said earlier that you gave up a 20-year corporate career just to start the movement. What made you decide to start that movement, aside from, of course, you wanna end the bias, but there must be something that really triggered you to make that movement and make it happen. So you could answer that when we get back. See you in a bit.
As a business owner, are you overwhelmed by the need to post beautiful, engaging content every single day? Are you left wondering what to write? Tired of scrolling through stock photos that all start to look the same? Confused by complicated graphic design programs? Rise Up Creatives is here to help. Each month, we give you everything you need to create 31 days of social media content in just 5 minutes a day. Customizable captions, curated lifestyle photos, a drag-and-drop graphic design tool, and the ability to post directly to your social media accounts. No one else empowers you with these 4 resources all in one place. Each month, we help you plan your social media calendar by providing you with 31 image themes and customizable captions so you can quickly and easily create engaging content and grow your following. Simply select the image that works best for your feed or story. Then, copy the caption and customize it to fit your audience. 5 minutes a day. It's that quick. Plus, you'll absolutely love our drag-and-drop graphic design tool. Start from scratch or choose one of our beautiful templates to fit your unique brand. When you're ready to export your design, you can download, email, or post directly to your social media accounts. Here's the truth. Our world needs what you have to offer. Don't let technology or procrastination hold you back. Rise Up Creatives is more than an online resource. We're a community helping you overcome your biggest barriers to reach your greatest goals. We're here to help you rise up and be creative.
Thank you so much, and we're back for the second part of our Season 2 14th broadcast of Hashtag Project Real Talk, brought to you by Decaf Coffee Republic, the coaching hub of Life Coach Philippines, and our home as professional certified co-active co-create life coaches. Meet our coaching tribe at Decaf Coffee Republic, located at Pioneer Center Compound along Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. You may come for dine-in or visit for coaching services from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday to Thursday. You may also join the community nights happening daily from 7:30 p.m. onward. So for today, it's Groove Tuesday. It's all about habits with Master Coach Hasmin. Purpose Wednesday, away in a day with Coach Riza. So if you're still looking for your purpose, or you still don't know what it is, or you wanna reach that purpose, then it's Coach Rizal that you need to talk to. Attend her talk tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. And on Thursday, of course, it's Strengthening Thursday with Coaching for the Soul with Master Coach A. Fab Saturday, that's open mic with Coach Orville, where you could sing your hearts out. You could play the instruments that we have over at BCAP. We have the piano, the ukulele, and the guitar. So you can play that out as well. You can also sing. You can do poetry. You can do spoken words or storytelling. So just visit us over on Saturdays if you want to just have chill moments and listen to music. We also have Comfy Sundays, Sundays for Life with Coach Sean, where he talks about creativity. How can we really be creative? Because all of us are creative people. And Nurturing Monday, that's with me. Walk Along with Coach Tin, where I talk about relationship, what's really the importance of having relationship, what is its benefit, and how can we make our relationships last. Our coaching hub is also an event place and a venue of choice for face-to-face classes, training, and private functions. So please connect with Coach Rizel at 0917-586-1661 for inquiry and reservation. And if you are one person who desires to experience transformation in areas of health, wealth, and relationships, then I invite you to join us inside Bill Learning Society as one of the mental model collectors with full access pass to the monthly mental model masterclass of Master Coach A that is exclusive for Bill Learning Society members only. So I am one member of Bill Learning Society. I am a mental model collector. And for this month, our masterclass is on thought automation mental. Oh, this is an exciting topic. Thought automation. How do you really automate your thought? Save the date, August 22, Monday at 7:30 p.m. Learn the mental model that can help you automate your thinking process so that you can leverage the power of intuition. I love this, the power of intuition. So if you're someone who's been wondering how your brain really works, join us inside the mental model masterclass. It's really fun to be able to understand how your brain works and how you are really responding when there are opportunities or whatever situation that comes into your life. And if you want to have a glimpse of what mental models are, all you have to do is download the Calamansi app. We are over at Calamansi. It's an audio cast that you can hear us every day on different schedules. Tonight we have one at 9 p.m. with Coach Lacey and Coach Rizel, Coach Lean, and Coach Trisha. The show for tonight is the premiere of the explanation effect, heart demystified. So what are the questions of the heart that you have? You can throw it at them tonight at 9 p.m. So see you over at Calamansi. And Be Learning Society, of course, is the tent maker of Be Learning Homes for mental fitness. And on top of the food and beverage discount we enjoy from the Coffee Republic, you also get to join us in the Mental Model Masterclass. You also benefit from a 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. And Think Talk Broadcast is powered by Rise Up Creatives Worldwide, the social commerce turnkey solution provider that helps entrepreneurs and business owners to leverage the power of content marketing to provide value, improve engagement, and increase revenue with the investment of just 5 minutes every single day. Visit www.riseupcreatives.com to learn the benefits of lifetime members like me and discover how you can rise up and be creative in growing your business. So, all right, so let's So I'm back, but I think LY was disconnected, so we will have to wait for her. Let's wait for her to reconnect. So I just want to welcome the audiences that we have right now, our audience here. We have Marie Ness. Thank you so much for joining us. Sabi niya nga dito, biggest reason for in love women is that if he's not doing right, I will push him to the right side. Yun. So, there are strong women out there who can really um, decide or really say no what to any violence in the relationship. Pero meron din talagang hindi kinakaya, no? I encountered some women na okay lang na binubugbog kasi may pera, binibigyan, may comfort, kahit nasasaktan na emotional, whether it's physical or emotional, pag abuse yan, masakit pa din talaga yan. And it's gonna really be hard if you don't say no to it. All right, so I think she's back. So I want to welcome back my guest for tonight, LY.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there, but that's life, right? This is live in the moment, so we have to
yeah.
go for it. You asked me a very interesting question before the break. You said, there is something behind, we know about your family story and what inspired it from that angle, especially walking away from a 20 plus year corporate career.
Yes.
And here's the thing, absolutely, it was my family story, but it was something that where I felt, you know how I talked about something being in your gut, your instinct? When I decided to finally take the plunge, because I would walk away part-time, and then when I decided to finally take the plunge full-time, and write my book, Color Me Butterfly, which tells the story about the 4 generations of mothers and daughters, I had gone to my doctor. I'll never forget. He changed my life. His name was Dr. Lee. He was a Chinese doctor, and I went to him. And I was working in corporate America, and I was working 60 plus hours a week, trying to raise my family and do all the things, live that American dream. But that American dream was killing me because I was trying to, just stay, do what we all do. We work hard and we don't take care of ourselves and we get overwhelmed. And I went to Dr. Lee and I said, I was working on one of the biggest projects for one of the largest global technology companies, IBM, at the time. And I went to him and I said, Dr. Lee, I'm not feeling well. And something's wrong. I could feel it. Remember I talked about that gut feeling? I could feel something was wrong. I was having signs. I was seeing all the signs, but I was ignoring the signs. And so, and I also said, oh, and by the way, Dr. Lee, I think I feel a lump in my breast. And so Dr. Lee sent me off to do a battery of tests. And I came back about a week later, and he said something to me that I want everyone to hear me say. Because I love Coach Lynn, Coach Tin, that you said, what was behind the real reason why you decided to do this? And the key word in that is the why. We always have a why. And the why is not a simple response, it goes deeper than that. It goes, why am I staying in this relationship? It goes deeper than I'm staying because of the children. It goes deeper than that. Maybe it's fear or whatever. So I go back to Dr. Lee a week later, and he said to me, all your test results came back, and those are not what's really killing you, and nor is the lump in your breast, because he did find that I had to have surgery to have that lump removed. He said, what's killing you is all these other ailments. And the ailments he was talking about was when you have something toxic going on in your body, it's going to attack every part of your body. So it attacked my blood and my immune system and everything. And that's the same with a relationship. When you have something toxic happening in your mind, in your body, in your spirit to you verbally, all that stuff is ingested and it affects you physically. And so he said to me these words, Change your life or change your life expectancy. Change your
Wow.
life or change your life expectancy. So he said, if you don't make a better decision to take care of you, to make sure you are well, to make sure you are healthy, you are in a healthy relationship. I was not in a healthy relationship at the time. I was in an abusive relationship. I was working around the clock. I was killing myself. Change your life expectancy, meaning you will not be here. You will not be here. So think of it from that perspective. My why was that changed my life expectancy. I walked into my executive vice president office the following Monday, because that was on a Friday, and I stepped down from my job because I knew I deserved better. And I gradually left. So that's what you have to think about. You have to take action. It may not be, I'm going to pack up and leave and take the kids and do that. It might be gradual. If you don't have money and you can't leave, start putting a little money away. Right? If you are financially can't afford to be on your own, start developing your skills so you can get another job. If you feel like you don't have somewhere to live, start looking at options of where you can go. It's called a safety plan. My safety plan was to get my body and my health and my home safe. And that's what you have to think about. What is your why?
Yes, that is really the most important thing because, yeah, we might be having the money and the luxury, the comfort of life, but if your life expectancy is short, it's useless. And of course, I think it's really more of what legacy are we really leaving? Because, I'm not sure what really happened, but I think, or am I right that you were really able to leave the abusive relationship?
Yes.
And so is your daughter. She was able to leave that.
Not right away. It took her years. The average number of times that a woman goes back to an abusive relationship, and I imagine this happens despite your gender, is 7 to 9 times. So even when they leave, sometimes they go right back because the person who he came back for her, make all the promises, they'll never do it again, and I love you, and don't leave, and don't break up the family, and they go back. She went back at least 7 times, at least 7 times. It took her years to get out of that, and when she got out of that relationship, she ended up in another abusive relationship because her self-esteem and her self-confidence was so low that she attracted the same kind of man, and somebody who's going to take advantage of that, somebody who's going to take advantage of her vulnerabilities and her fear. Yes.
So it's gonna be hard because you have to you really have to be able to say no. But I know it's not easy to just leave. There will be a pattern of you going back to that relationship. So with the saving promise, how long is it now as an organization or a movement?
I founded it in 2007, 15 years. I've been at this for 15 years. And my whole focus around Saving Promise is around prevention. And prevention doesn't mean just stopping those that are never been abused from being abused. Prevention means also preventing those that have been abused, giving them the resources and the tools and the confidence and the empower them to not go back into a relationship like that, preventing them from going back into a relationship and preventing their children from growing up in an intergenerational environment like my family. The reason why it's 5 generations is because it's a learned behavior. Even as women, we accepted it. My mother never complained about my father. And so I thought when I was in that abusive relationship, well, this is how it's supposed to be. So preventing and breaking that cycle.
So what's the first help that the women get when they reach out to Saving Promise?
So Saving Promise is more about education and awareness. We create education and awareness, but we partner with other organizations, local organizations that will help women get the help they need. Like for here in the States, we have a domestic violence hotline, and it's a confidential hotline that people can call. And I suspect in the Philippines, they have something like that, where you can call and you can get the support and help you need. There's so many resources out there. And I know it's tough to go into a shelter in the States. We have shelters for women that who are at risk of being harmed, even worse. And so, maybe in the Philippines, they might have something. But we also have programs here in the States where they help, there are programs to help you pay your rent, to help you find a place to live for you and your children, to help you buy food, to help you get the resources you need, to help you build skills. There was a organization called Dress for Less here in the U.S. where they provided women with the skills and the clothes and things they need to go out and find a job. So I would hope that they have similar kinds of programs there in the Philippines where they can help women get the support they need. It all starts with you recognizing you deserve better,
Yes,
and making a choice. That's all. You don't have to do all the other stuff yet. Take one step at a time. The first step is do an assessment of your situation. Decide if you deserve better. Understand your why you deserve better. And I'll tell you why. Because you're beautiful. Because you're strong. You're stronger. We're stronger than we know. You're strong. You will get through it. You have what it takes. You're smart. You're savvy. Yes, you maybe got children, or you live by yourself and you don't know how to live by yourself, or you don't have anywhere to go. You're savvy. You can learn a skill. You can learn how to do something differently. You can build yourself up. So the first step, don't make a big decision about leaving right now. Make one decision. Make one choice a day. Choose today that you deserve better. That's all you got to do. Start. There's a book called Just Start. Just start somewhere.
Yes, just start somewhere, take action. It really have to, you really have to come into that point that you have to say, I deserve better. And of course, it's not easy. That's why that's right. I always said that you don't have to make a big decision first. Take it one step at a time, because of course, as we always say in coaching, you have to come into awareness first of what it is that you need, and then from there you take the acknowledgement so you can take action. Because if you are just aware and you don't acknowledge, you will not be able to get the help that you need. And I love how it is with Saving Promise, because there's the prevention part, because most often what happens is the intervention. But if we can really educate more women to see their value and start standing up for themselves, even if they are in the, I know, some of you would say, because you are not in that position. Yes, I know I am not in that position, but you have to, I think it would always have to boil down to the value that you have, or how much are you really seeing yourself, how much worth do you have for you to be able to really say, I cannot be a part, or I cannot subject myself to domestic violence. And remember, if we have kids, our kids will also mirror the things that they are seeing with us. And it will become a pattern, like with LY, wherein it took her like the fifth generation to be able to say, enough is enough and I have to do something about it. So if you are speaking with Promise right now, LY, what would you like to tell her?
I would look at her in the eye and I would say, Promise, you are a beautiful, talented young lady. You're 15 years old. You are at a place in your life where you get to choose who you let in your life and who you will not. And you get to choose what you will tolerate and what you will not. And you get to choose honoring you first. You get to choose you. You get to choose you first. And so you choose you today. You choose you today, and you tell yourself every day, you do a daily affirmation. You stand in that mirror, you say, I am beautiful. I am strong. I am savvy. I am smart. I am intelligent. I deserve better. And I want to show someone how to treat me. Because if I accept and tolerate them doing differently and treating me poorly, then I am showing them and I'm giving them permission to do that. I'm not telling them they're supposed to do that, but by not choosing me first, I'm letting them choose me instead. So make a promise to yourself. Make a promise today to yourself that you are always going to choose you first.
I love that. Choose you today, because often that's what we forget. Even if you are not in an abusive relationship, there will come a time that when you are in the relationship, like your marriage, you have kids, you at times forget yourself. Um, I don't know, but it's a common thing with women that we lose ourselves in the process. We lose ourselves in the relationship. So I've been a product of that. Like, I choose their happiness over my happiness. It's like I already depended my happiness on my kids, my husband, and well, you will not be able to really have that joy in your life if you keep on doing that, because at the end of the day there has to be a value of who you are. You have to go back to yourself, your identity as a woman. And women are created as nurturer, so we have to be able to do that role whether we are married or not. And of course, um that legacy, of course, is we want to see it last, because I know it's not easy to just turn over or change the women out there. It might take a while. How do you envision the 5 years from now? How do you envision seeing Saving Promise?
I envision seeing Saving Promise 5 years from now. We launched a campaign called Friends of Promise. And Friends of Promise is we are inspiring, is a concept where we are inspiring people to get involved and help us to educate each other. Because not one organization or entity or individual can prevent this from happening. So the best way to prevent it is to mobilize people around the world to get involved and host a Friends of Promise salon. And the Friends of Promise salon is where you would get a few of your friends or people at your workplace or at your church together, or maybe you're part of a book club or some other group, and you come together in person or by Zoom, and you have a conversation about it. And we provide you with all the resources you need in order to talk about it. And you do it by doing something that you enjoy or love doing. For example, some people one person hosts a cupcake making salon where they were showing us how to make cupcakes, and while we were making cupcakes, we talked about the issue. One person hosted a happy hour, and she taught us about the benefits of wine. Why wine is good for your health, red wine, and what kind of things you can benefit from wine. And she taught us about the benefits of wine. And she was a doctor. One person hosted a salon where she brought all her friends together, and she sell clothes, and she told them about fashion, how to dress nice and everything. And while they talked about fashion, they talked about the issue. So salon can be anything you want it to be. It can also be fun. Just because we're talking about a tough topic doesn't mean it got to be a situation where you come in and you're like, oh, we're going to talk about this horrible thing. You're doing something fun and different, but while you're doing it, you're talking about the issue. And we provide you with everything. We provide you even with the link for you to invite people. We provide you with the resources for you to educate the people. And it could be, if a salon could be 45 minutes to an hour. It don't have to be long. And maybe 10 minutes of that time or 15 minutes of that time, you're talking about the issue. Imagine, Coach Tin, if everyone watching this program decided to go to savingpromise.org and look for Friends of Promise and decide to become a change agent and host a salon. And once we get your request, we'll send you everything you need. We'll help you set it up. And then all you got to do is send the link out to your friends and family or community, and boom, you're hosting a salon. And not only are you helping to prevent it, but imagine the number of lives you can save, because every time we have a salon, there's somebody in that salon that is suffering.
Yep. Actually, we did that last night when we launched the season 2 of Think Talk broadcast. So what we did is we invited people in, and then we played the video of Saving Promise and an invitation for the Friends of Promise. So we already did a launch. It's a soft launch last night. We have 43 participants all in, together with Master Coach A. So I think Master Coach A will discuss it further with you later. So
Wow.
that's really exciting, because abuse happens everywhere. It's not just here, or it's not just in the US, but also here in the Philippines. And what's really more difficult here in the country is that since we are so patriarchal, and people would often look at um, domestic um, domestic squabbles as just that, a fight between husband and wife. It's hard at times to complain, even if we have the violence against women and children complaint deaths. At times, it's hard,
Yeah.
especially if the responding officers are the one who or they are known to the one committing the violence, the domestic violence. It's hard.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people will be helped with that. So we are excited. So before we end, we are almost near our end. My What I would usually say is love is an action, safety is in action. If you could really picture love and safety in a relationship, what should it look like?
I want to say what love and safety looks like is that you're not just feeling those butterflies in your belly in the beginning of the relationship when everything is beautiful and is loving and is lovely. You're feeling safe all the time, because love is safe. And I'm not talking about safe in terms of being harmed. I'm talking about safe and feeling like I feel safe when I talk to this person, meaning I can say anything to her or him, and I feel safe in sharing what's near and dear to me. I feel safe when this person calls me at night, or we're together and we say goodnight together, and I go to sleep, and I feel safe that I'm going to wake up that morning and feel good about life. I feel safe that my children are going to grow up in a healthy home. And my children are going to see me and my partner modeling what healthy looks like. I feel safe every time this person turns to me and she or he says, I love you. And I know they mean it. It's not just words. I feel it because I feel safe in who I am. I feel safe in every part of my being, in my mind, in my body, in my heart, in my spirit. That is love. Love isn't just the butterflies. Love is bigger than butterflies. Love is bigger than hurt and pain and trauma and shame. You got to feel safe in every part of your being. You got to feel safe that when they show you who they are and you believe them and you feel safe. You feel safe when you believe them that first time, like Maya Angelou said. So love does not exist without safe. Safety, when it gets to safety, you're in trouble. There's a difference between safe and safety. Safe is feeling it in every part of your body, and that's love. Safety is not love, because now you got to go to where safety is. When you got to look for safety, you are not in a relationship that's built on trust and love and honor. And most of all, you are not safe.
There. I love what you said. Love should be safe, because if it's safety, then you are looking for something to be safe. And of course, love is bigger than anything else. And you have to have a picture of what healthy love looks like, and for you to be able to have that safe feeling, because love should be safe, not safety. Thank you so much, LY, for joining me tonight. I love the passion. Go girl. So I love it. And so see you at the backstage. We'll have some pictures as well later. So thank you for joining me tonight, for supporting hashtag Project Real Talk. And whether you are joining us live or watching us on a replay, please do leave a comment to share your thoughts and insights. Please don't keep us a secret. Help us serve more people by circulating the link of this video. And if you're interested to embark on a journey of becoming a professional certified life coach like me, Master Coach A Professional Training and Development Services offers Co-Actively Co-Create Life Coach certification program with international CPD accreditation and 40 credit units. So that's right, you heard it right. There's 40 credit units that will be given to you once you get certified from us. Life coaching is a 21st century learning experience that is empowering professionals to enhance their skills in multiple domains, thereby increasing their relevance in an increasingly complex workplace and dynamic business environment. CACC course includes a 21-day web-based learning with lifetime access, 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A, and a 3-day live virtual business bootcamp with senior coaching team. The program package also comes with done-for-you coaching programs and many other bonuses, so you can jumpstart in the second fastest growing industry in the world today. Connect now with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 to join the live coaching bootcamp on September 10, 17, and 24 for online learners. And for everyone from the northern part of the Philippines, face-to-face coaching bootcamp is happening on August 13 and 20. Please connect with Coach Nords at 0947-587-7113. I invite you also to watch the other shows hosted here at Think Talk Broadcast. Please follow, subscribe, and engage in our social media accounts at Think Talk _TV on Twitter and Instagram, and Think Talk Broadcast on YouTube, and give us your review. For partnership and collaboration, please connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661. So see you in the next episode of hashtag Project Real Talk on August 9, live here at Think Talk Broadcast. And your one coaching thought for today is love yourself. When you love yourself, everything becomes possible because you are able to choose you. As LY said, it has to come to a point that you have to see your value and your worth, and you are able to say yes to yourself because you choose you today. Love is an action, safety is love is an action, safety is in action. And remember, when you love, it has to be safe. This is us in the Philippines. Coaches like us think and talk like this. I am life coach Tin de Joya, broadcasting beyond borders to advance life coaching worldwide. Love, bam, boom. Love, bam, boom. Love, bam, boom. See you.